Hi, I'm Paul, and welcome to Build and Bond. Today we're going to build Hogwarts Great Hall. It was the modular that kicked off the now largest ever Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle expansion. We're really going to get excited about this because there's so much going on. I can't wait to bond with you over all these building details. There are some really interesting design choices. There are characters we've never seen before in minifigure form. We're going to go through each one of those. We're going to go through all of the rooms, and definitely there are some questions. Is this really worth it? Is going bigger really going better? We're going to compare against the older model. We're going to look at some of the details that make this work and some things that make it questionable. Is it completely magical and worth your time and energy? Let's find out. Let's build and bond. All right, here's what you're in for. We're going to start with a unboxing and complete speed build of this whole model so you can see how it comes together, ending with a 360. Then we're going to talk about the minifigures themselves, go through those in detail. We're also going to talk then about comparing this to the previous version of this particular Great Hall. It's a little different. We're going to see, is it worth it? What's it like, really, when you compare the two of them together? We're going to look at then the complete micro model of the Hogwarts castle grounds and see where this fits in and what does that mean for where we're going next. How much room are we really going to need in our display areas? We're going to also look at when you add the Boathouse, which is a separate build, what does that look like? How does that compare? We're going to look at what I loved overall about this. We're going to have definitely a conversation about some of the questions that I have and that probably you will too when you build it. And then we'll end with some final thoughts. I can't wait to get going. All right, let's build. There are 1,732 pieces in this set, and there are a total of 5 instruction manuals, one for the base, one for the courtyard, one for the Great Hall, and 2 for the individual rooms and the hallway downstairs. That makes it possible, like some of the holiday sets, to be able to build with others and make it a real bonding experience. So this is a huge set, and it's imposing looking. It is beautiful overall, and you can see just how much is going on here. Overall, it's gigantic, and it really takes up a big space, which I think is very clever. It's even bigger than my turntable, actually, for the first time in a long time. And here's the impressive minifigure lineup. You have Harry, Professor Quirrell, the Fat Friar, Professor Vector, Terry Boot, Daphne Greengrass, Ron, Dumbledore, Hermione, Leanne, and the Troll. Same thing, secondary features. Harry, of course, is frightened. We have Voldemort hiding under Quirrell. The ghost is even a little surprised. She's a little more stern. He is worried. She's worried. Ron, of course, is freaking out. Dumbledore you can't quite see, but he actually does have a different expression here. It's just hidden behind the beard. Hermione, of course, afraid because that's the troll. And this other girl is just like, what? I don't know. In this set, we have 5 minifigures that have never appeared before. Let me just name them so you know who they are and save you the research that I had to do. So first we have the Fat Friar. He's actually from the resident ghost of the Hufflepuff house. He's one of the first ghosts that the students see when they are waiting to be sorted, actually, in the first movie. This is Professor Vector. She is the professor of arithmancy. Hermione loves this class, and she appears like this in the Lego video game years 1 to 4. Daphne Greengrass, with her beautiful blonde hair, she is a pure-blood Slytherin student. And her younger sister, Astoria, you might know that name, is the one who marries Draco Malfoy. Terry Boot is this other student, again, the same year as them. He also fought in Dumbledore's army, and he is a Ravenclaw. And then the last character here, her name is Leanne. that's it. There's no last name, which is sad in and of itself. And she is a Hufflepuff friend. She is a friend of Katie Bell in the movies, and is also in the video game for years 5 to 7. All right, so these minifigures actually raised a big question for me, and then I have a thought about it. I'm a big fan of Lego, and I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, and even though these characters are named on the card and artwork, I still had to Google to figure out who they were. So on one hand, it's really cool that it's a deep cut of characters we don't see, some of them hardly in the movie at all, if at all, and they're, for fans of the books, it's great. But on the other hand, if I'm a first-time Lego Harry Potter purchaser, and this set is my first big investment, I'm kind of confused maybe as to why am I not getting a Draco? Why am I not getting a Neville? Why am I not getting a McGonagall? So for me, I think that's like, it's a hit and a miss at the same time. However, there is one really cool Easter egg that these offer. These minifigures actually allow you to have, in this set, one character from each house. And I think that's really important. So you have your main characters, but you also have this representation, which I think gives a playability feature that is kind of a nice Easter egg. On the lower level, we have this new feature, these modular rooms that are separate builds that then slide in on actually a very clever track system. So on the left, you have the girls' bathroom where the troll attacks. Then you have a hallway of sorts, and then you have the Hufflepuff common room. So it's very interesting to me. These all open up for even more playability, which is beautiful, actually. And these are kind of simple designs in terms of the walls aren't necessarily complete, etc. But they do give you this option to be able to slide them in and out and play with them and move them wherever you'd like to. I find it very strange that we have two non-canon rooms. So the hallway, I don't know what that hallway is or where it's supposed to be or where it's going. It does lead to the secret door outside. The Hufflepuff common room is not described in the books or in the movie, so it's nice to see it, but that's about it. But when you compare them to the other modular rooms that come as separate sets, I think you see the big difference here. So I know we kicked off the series with the build series with these rooms, but when you look at what else is available, when you insert them as well, you get a different kind of look to the basement. You kind of get this hallway feature where you have the doors lined up like you're walking down the hallways through a bunch of different classes, which is really cool. So here when you see the potions class compared to the girls' bathroom, both are canon locations in the film. We know what they look like. The potions class is just a winner here. I know it's a different evolution of this modular room, but it would be great in the future to see the bathroom given the same kind of treatment. The bathroom has a great play feature, which is some breakaway pieces, the sides of the stall and the door itself, so that you can reenact that scene from the first film. It does have some nice mirror elements as well. The troll actually is built out of a couple of different pieces. You get to put together his arms and hands. And the club that he has to wreck all that damage is actually a build as well. What I didn't figure out right away is that the club does clip into his hand. And you'll see that I had some struggles. Once you figure that out, everything's fine, but I didn't when I was filming this, and it was making it really frustrating for me. So when you compare it to the previous version on the right from 2018, you'll see that really the scale is really similar, but it really has beefed up everything in every way. Even when you stack them height to height, it's obvious that the new version really does tower above the others. The new version of the courtyard looks more movie accurate. However, the older version is actually more accurate to scale with the rest of the building. So when you compare the interiors side by side, Obviously, there's a lot going on downstairs in the new version, and there's a tower on the old version. So we're going to focus just on the hall itself, the dining hall. So on the left-hand side, you see the new version has much more room in the roof, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm sorry, the camera was a little shaky. More accurate seeming to me. When I look at the older version, though, it does have some things that are different. So we've got a fireplace, we've got some interesting banners, there's more intricate candles, as well as somewhere for the professors to sit, which now does not exist. However, there's more food, it's much more colorful, so it's a win. So let's compare where this fits into the whole model of Hogwarts Castle. So if you look at the micro version as reference, you'll see where the Great Hall and the staircase are. And so when you see from the top, you see how much more castle grounds there really is. And if LEGO is developing all of it, we're going to be really excited. We know that the next large portion of it is actually this tower, and I already have that. I can't wait to put it together, but when I see it together, this is going to be massive. How am I going to display all of it? There are hooks at the front that allow you to attach the boathouse. That is actually a separate Harry Potter LEGO build. So it has the nice angle on it, etc. However, when you look at the micro scale version of the entire castle grounds, you'll see its positioning here. And the most notable difference is that you have a winding path down from the castle to the boathouse. So that winding staircase down to the boathouse is not a surprise. It's in the books, it's in the film, it's in the theme parks, and the rides in the theme parks, and it's in the video games, etc. So this, I know, was a choice. I understand it. But we've spent so much time on the rock work on everything else that to put a little bit of that detail into the stairway and make it look a little twisty and windy even would have made a big difference. So to me, that's a miss. So here's some things I love that we haven't talked about yet. I love the candles. I think the treatment of them with using the clear brick is terrific, and it really holds them in place, makes them feel more secure than in the 2018 version. I get very excited looking at the hooks on the back that would accompany and make room for future builds to be able to attach, is what I'm assuming. So that just fills me with excitement and anticipation. I like the fact that it's a modular build, that you put these pieces together. So you've got your base, you've got your courtyard, and you've got the Great Hall itself. Together, all of that is really fun, and plus the additional rooms in the basement. And the secret door, I think, is really fun. It looks terrific, and the fact that the tower splits to make that happen is just a genius build and so much fun. And gosh, if I was a kid, I'd be even more excited about it than I am now. The modular rooms are a cool idea, but they don't lock in really, so when you move your set, they come out. That's a little annoying. So we're trying to make the roof look like it does in the movies and in the books, but I think it looks stupid. And I think there's so many brilliant building techniques we could have done to either turn the clouds around to get the smooth side or just suspend everything from the ceiling. Why not? If you're wondering what this red gem is in the tower, you're not alone. I had to Google it myself, and it turns out that it meant to represent the Philosopher's Stone. That is red, but it's much more of a round shape, more like the Infinity Stones. In fact, we already have that shape in LEGO. I don't know why we got this instead, but it never appears in the books or in the movie in a tower in this location. It is actually in Gringotts and then shows up magically in the Mirror of Erised, which is coming in the next set anyway. So this to me is strange. I mean, I'm glad we didn't get another spider, or maybe a weird crab, who knows, but this one did leave me scratching my head. So to be really candid, before I give my final assessment, I think where this set really wins is the exterior, and the proportions and the scale look fantastic. I think when it comes to the interiors, I think these modular rooms are a brilliant start. I can't wait to see more that gets done with that in subsequent models. And I think that the hall itself looks nice, but I feel like we're still waiting for the best version of the Great Hall that has more room, more activity going on, less cartoony play features, and that has more detail. Where are the griffins holding the lights? Where's the fireplace? Where's the seating for the professors? All these little small things that could have made a big difference. Maybe a Christmas overlay or a holiday overlay like in the films would have been really a fun way to switch this up and make it different. So overall, it's terrific, but I think we're still waiting for the best one. Having said all of that, is this worth getting? Well, I'm going to say yes, for a couple of important reasons. Even though there aren't some things inside that are perfect and or what I would want, this is a spectacular kickoff to the new series and the new scale. So I think it's really important to have. There are many, many great things that were fun to build that I'd never built before, characters I'd never seen before. All of that far outweighs all of the things that I just have minor complaints about. It was a terrific build, a really fun thing to put together, and it gave me a lot of joy. So, as always, my favorite part about doing this, whether or not you have this set or any Lego at all, is doing it with you. So I hope that you come back and see me again sometime. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you liked it even more, please leave a comment. Just typing any old words like Harry Potter in the comments really helps me as I build this channel. Okay, so see you next time. Until then, stay magical.